Break it down, homie. How are you today?
Doing better than I deserve, man. Hey, I love the fact that even when I miss like last week, you still call it the Paul and Saul show and go solo.
Because it
Appreciate
is.
that. Yeah, I
You're
appreciate that.
always in my heart, Paul.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
buddy. I know you had kind of a tough week. A little hiccup on a graphic. You want to talk about that briefly?
Yeah, so you might have seen a video that I posted, I think like an hour ago. Basically, yesterday I was doing, let's see, we had uh, Coach Thomas Grant from Crestview, Coach Josh Pulliam from Fort Walton Beach, Coach Frank Beasley from Choctaw on to our live feed. And I went back and looked, and I put a different graphic behind all three of them. I thought I had only used two graphics after looking, but I had used three. One of those was a big collage of players and fans and stuff. Had a lot of Choctaw in it, and people got mad. I think understandably looking at it.
Yeah, you used a Choctaw heavy graphic in the background of an interview with the Fort Walton Beach head coach.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was not intentional, but it was also not bright. And so I am kind of having to eat my hat today, which is, I think, fair, but it's also kind of one of the risks when I'm wrong in public a lot. This is one of those times. But in all seriousness, like I get why everybody was angry, and I wish I could take it back, but I can't. But my all I can do is say like, hey, I'm gonna do better next time. So I'm gonna get up, dust myself off, and apologize to people that needed to be apologized to, and do better. So hopefully we'll have better this afternoon on our football spring game shows. So we'll see.
Well, so let's be super honest. It's not like you're a Choctaw homer, so it was definitely an accident. Thank you for being contrite, but everyone knows you're a Niceville homer anyway, so it's fine.
I, so I get calls and texts a lot from people, and they'll be like, "Hey, I think you lean this way politically. I think you lean that way politically, but I won't tell anybody." And I'm like, "Okay." But then when it's football, you're just like, "Uh oh, now I'm in real trouble." And so, it,
What is it? Midbaynews.com/bias is
bias alert.
bias alert. Yep,
Uh,
you should just put on there like your NHS Eagle bias.
I don't know that I am
I'm
though.
just
I
messing with
feel
you.
like I was I don't want to say critical, but I think I was very realistic about what happened last year, and I think they've got a lot of uphill to go this year as well. But I do think they're very talented, and I think there's a world in which they win 7 games. Not that it matters, but I'm yeah. Anyway, the point is, and I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to put my foot any further into my mouth.
Yeah, Christopher Saul is sorry. He doesn't hate Fort Walton Beach, and he definitely doesn't love Choctaw more than Fort Walton Beach. So,
I
amen.
I just love all football. Like I was telling you before the show, like we do a lot of bad and hard and awful news, frankly. And football is like the one thing a year that, even though it's a lot of work, is like a labor of love. It's
Yeah,
just fun. And so I don't want to ever use that to make people angry with me.
sure.
I want people to enjoy it. And so I messed up again, and I'm hopeful that I can earn people's trust back in that category, especially by doing good work. So
Well, I
there we
hope
go.
they would forgive you for a graphic mess up. But hey, we need. Are we going to do the dance and then start the
We
show now?
we have to, now that I've done my full mea culpa.
Yeah, let's do it.
Welcome to the Paul and Saul Show. I don't know if we said this yet. I am Saul. He is Paul.
I'm
This way.
just a guy. I'm just a guy.
He is not just a guy. Don't let him fool you. He was at the TecMEN Industry Day this week, a fun day for entrepreneurs, and the, I would say, STEM fields. So,
Yeah.
kind of give us a recap of what happened, what you saw, and why the school district was there.
Yeah. So first of all, shout out to Nathan Sparks, One Okaloosa, the EDC, Economic Development Council, all the folks that put in work to put on this conference. It was the ninth annual TecMEN conference. It was held at the convention center on Okaloosa Island. It was very, very well done. And yeah, it has a bunch of speakers, which were amazing. And then they had a bunch of booths, and you could walk around and you could see the different booths. They had a robotic dog. They had a humanoid-ish robot that would shake your hand and was walking around.
I'm out of a job then. If
Yeah,
it can already do that, I'm done.
yeah,
Like,
it was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. And UF Engineering, the Applied Science Labs was there. University of West Florida was there. A lot of local tech companies were there. A lot of students were there. So yeah, there were a lot of college students and high school students there. Handing out their resumes and talking to these companies. But the big thing is there's an organization called Space Florida that is in charge of sort of bringing technology to the state of Florida, not just space related, but aerospace, cybersecurity, everything STEM really. And so, yeah, our very own Okaloosa County Schools leader was there and signing an MOU that we are going to have more STEM programs and work alongside Space Florida. So,
so
really awesome.
you're big in the entrepreneurial space, and you're big
Sure.
in uh, you're big in missile, or in aerospace or
Yeah.
rocket.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
as an entrepreneur, what does this mean to you? What does this herald?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's super interesting. I think it's a multifaceted approach to getting more business into the state of Florida and more high earning business, engineering business into the state, which is amazing because we have a fantastic higher education system. A lot of engineering schools are here. Embry-Riddle, University of Florida, and I'll even put FSU in there, UCF. They all have engineering programs.
Florida Poly.
West Florida, North Florida, they all have them.
Mhm.
And we want to keep that talent here. We want to grow that talent here and keep it here. Space Florida is really interesting. Teaming up with Space Florida at like a state level, along with the county, to bring more business here is important. It's something that you and I are passionate about. Having additional skill sets here and additional job opportunities outside of being directly in the military or directly associated with tourism. And yeah, Nathan Sparks at the Economic Development Council, county commissioners were there. Everybody is supportive, and they're putting their money where their mouth is. The county wants to support businesses who are bringing jobs here, and they'll give you tax credits for it, tax abatements for it. Space Florida has a lot of benefits too when it comes to financing and being willing to help you with a lot of your equipment. And we're seeing it up at Shoal River in the northern part of the county. They're going to grow that out over the next decade or two. There's going to be a lot of industry up there. Williams is the first one to go in, and there seems to be a few more in the pipeline that haven't been announced yet. And that's huge because we need everyone's heading south for work now, and we need more people to stay in the north for work.
Yeah, north of Florida, correct? We're not talking about like Boston or something.
No. When I say north, I mean in the northern part of the county.
Oh, I was like,
yeah, we
okay.
need people to we need people. People are coming from Crestview in the northern part of the county to work in the southern part. We need more
I
jobs
need a
in the northern
traffic
part.
jam on 90. There's not enough traffic on 90, sir.
No, 85 and all those routes need to be working the other direction as much as they're working.
But most importantly, if I'm going to sit in 30 minutes of traffic to get from my house in Niceville to my office in Niceville, everybody else should, because we have that many jobs. All of the jobs, sir. Anyway, big shout out to Nathan Sparks. This has been like, I think probably 15 years in the making, this Shoal River Ranch thing. So to have this TecMEN, all these things starting to plug in. I mean, the longer this goes, the more he's looking like a genius. It's really cool to see something that's like worked on this hard. Where there was something I was listening to. Maybe you probably sent it to me, where it's like the overnight successes are 15 years in the making.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this feels like.
Yeah, that is what it's going to feel like. And Space Florida had this really interesting chart that kind of chopped the state up into sections, and basically like we are second behind where Cape Canaveral and everything is.
Okay.
In like aerospace projects and aerospace companies and tech stuff that Space Florida is supporting. So per capita, that's like really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's just going to continue, and that's huge. And the county's doing great things. Like, I don't care what your opinion is. Like the Crestview bypass is needed. Like they're going to widen parts of 85 as you get close to I-10. Like those things are coming because there's going to be more people here and there's going to be more jobs here.
Do we need to put that on our bias alert?
I mean, you can put it on Paul's bias alerts.
But like Paul, but I agree. Southwest bypass is absolutely critical. I think the northern ring. I think eventually there has to be a ring around Crestview to make everything efficient because eventually you just keep hitting bottlenecks until you increase capacity on all of the roads.
Yeah.
At least that's what Jason Autry told me when I worked at the county, and I believe him. He's a smart guy.
Those guys are super smart at the county. Like, we are so blessed to have really good county planners and strategists, and they're just patient, and they know, like, it's going to take a long time, but they're gathering funds from all sorts of places, and the half-cent sales tax. Like, I don't know. I am so bullish on Okaloosa County right now. Like, I don't know. It's just exciting. It's exciting to be here. I'm so glad I've made this home, and that I'm going to be able to watch it over the next 30 years.
Well, speaking of bullish on Okaloosa County, we have talked to the Big Four coaches over the football programs at, excuse me, at Okaloosa County and Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and in Niceville. Lot going on, guys. I mean, I talked to Thomas Grant yesterday out of Crestview. He's really excited. He is super jazzed as a former offensive lineman that played ball in college. He's really excited about this offensive line. We have all of these guys' interviews up on our Facebook page and on our website. But what team do you see, Paul, as like the most exciting in your mind? I mean, I know that I am, of course, you've said that I am a militant Niceville homer, apparently. This is news to me, but okay. What are you looking at, man?
I'm just excited that the energy seems to be like well-rounded. And maybe that's just because you're doing a good job of getting well-rounded coverage. But I mean, I think the new coach at Niceville and how Niceville's going to play is going to be the story of the year, unless something comes out and surprises us. But yeah, I mean, let's get ready for some football. We got some spring games going on, and it's exciting to be getting back into the swing of things when it comes to football.
I think that Fort Walton Beach, for example, I think is going to surprise everybody this year. Just after talking to Coach Pulliam, I think that they are probably miles ahead of where they were last year. They have a lot going on, a lot of positive happening. And like you said in the interview, they're building it from the ground up. So I have a lot of I am buying Fort Walton Beach stock. I'm very interested in how Coach Grant's schedule is like murderer's row, dude. It is. I mean, they've got 3 out-of-state teams. Coffee County, which is a perennial powerhouse in Georgia. They're playing, I believe, 2 schools are playing Enterprise and not Thompson. They're playing another one, and I cannot remember who it is, out of Alabama. But these are really, really good schools, and their district, which includes Niceville and Pace, and also includes Navarre, which has had a rough couple of years. But
Right.
I mean, that's not an easy schedule. Same thing for Choctaw. Choctaw's playing the 7A state champion in Alabama last year, Thompson. So we have a lot of good games coming down the pipe in the fall. We're going to have a lot to do, and I'm going to be a very tired man in September and October because we're going to have a lot of coverage.
It's going to be fun, and I'm so glad that you're available and that you're passionate about this, because I think people really do love the coverage. And when you go live from the sidelines and all the other stuff, I mean, the show that Heath and everybody does, I mean, it's gonna be a fun year, and you just keep getting better at it every year, man. So keep it up.
Well, we really need to thank Abby for my wife Abby for watching the kids and letting me do this, because without her, this is, I promise you, not happening. So big ups to her for letting me do this. She knows it's important to the community. She knows it's important to me. So thank you, Abby. Just throwing that out there. You're amazing, and I love you.
Clip that.
You heard the man. Anyway, after this quick commercial break from our sponsor, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about 2 political issues. Should be interesting, should be spicy. Be right back.
You should be a member at Eglin Photo Credit Union because they have great service and they make a positive impact in our community.
They're a very reliable service, and they're very local and convenient.
I think the best part is feeling like you're not just a customer, you're actually a member, which makes you feel part of the family.
The people and the personal service that we get every time we walk in the door, we feel like we're home.
Must be 18 or older to join online. Eglin Federal Credit Union, where members matter most.
All right. Well, welcome back, guys. Whew. Let's just go straight into vouchers, my guy. The FEA, the Florida Education Association, the biggest teachers union in the state, has filed a lawsuit to block vouchers, essentially from funding private schools. It is, I think, probably a long time coming. This lawsuit was going to happen. I think the FEA has had a lot of problems lately with the direction of education in the state. And Paul, you're shaking your head.
I'm just so ridiculously passionate in the opposite direction of the teachers union. First of all, I'm not a huge lover of unions. Second of all, I should probably disclose that I helped start a private school. But I mean, this is ridiculous.
That my kid goes to.
That your kid goes to. Yeah,
So-
like, I mean, we should be upfront about all that. Put that on
Yeah.
the biases page too. But like, I think this is ridiculous. The state of Florida has done a lot of fantastic things to allow us to have freedom of education across the board. And I just find it absolutely ridiculous for I keep saying student union, but the teachers union to head in this direction. I would encourage them instead to put out a better product that keeps people in schools longer. I mean, the bias is actually fairly strong, especially at the high school level, where kids are choosing to dual enroll, not even be in high school half the day. And if they see a counselor, the counselor is trying to talk them into taking AP and ACE classes or staying at the school. And I really think on the back end, there's a lot of financial reasons for them pushing kids in that direction. And I just think we've never had more choices for education ever. And I think it's a good thing, not a bad thing. I don't agree with the teachers union. I think they need to put the energy about creating a better product rather than suing and having us have to deal with this. I'm sure our tax dollars are going to have to be spent to go against this too.
So I'll push back just because A, this would be a really boring show if I didn't, but B, like, I think that there is something to be said about the economies of scale that we are losing at the public schools by pulling kids out. Now, granted, my kid is at Catholic school, and that has a lot to do with me being Catholic and wanting my kid to have a Catholic education, and I see the value in that. But I do have some concerns for the people that may not be able to afford the difference between the voucher and tuition, and then kids that can't get a leg up, what's going to happen to them, right? So I understand that part of the argument, but I think you also we have chosen, for better or worse, right, a model that is much more competitive and entrepreneurial in the education space here in Florida. And so I think that having the Supreme Court look at this very closely, if they were to get this case, I think would benefit everybody involved, right? Because one way or another, we're going to have an answer.
No, I hate it. No, and here's why. Like if you look at the public school system as a business, the business has not been run well. That's why people are leaving it and no longer being a consumer of the product. And so sometimes when a business isn't doing well, it needs new leadership, and then you shrink it to get better at what you're supposed to be doing. So you need to prune it, get smaller, get better at what you do, and then the students will come back. And so, I mean, I'm not for it. Like, I don't think we're going to lose that much economy of scale. And if we do, it's because the product is bad. I think less students might be okay. We need to get better at the product and then grow back the public school system from there.
So you said prune. I'm curious, what would you want to prune?
I mean, it just naturally will get pruned. I mean, if you have less kids going to your school, that means you're going to have to make some tough decisions about less administration. Okay. You're going to have to hire better talent. You're going to have to just tighten everything up as an enterprise, right? Before you can grow again. And so this whole idea of like everything shrinking and we need to stop it from shrinking, like you don't stop it by suing your customers. You stop it by getting better at what you do. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just not for suing your customers.
Lots of legal paperwork to be done before we have a resolution in this one. So we will be keeping an eye on it. And I know Paul is going to keep bringing it up in Paul and Saul, and I think that's probably a good thing.
I don't know. Now the teachers are going to hate me.
Well, you're going to have to take a ticket. Anyway, so last thing on here is elections. Elections season cometh. August the 18th is the primary, which essentially is the general election here in the Emerald Coast because, like it or hate it, 75% of people are registered Republicans, so most of the business gets done in the primary. You'll see that a lot of candidates are in a monochromatic color. That's because I, Christopher, have not interviewed them, not because they refuse to talk to me. I just have the first three. Jim Bagby running for Walton County Commissioner, Cynthia West running for Okaloosa County School District, seat number 5. And then Gordon Porter, seat 3 in Walton County for the school board. I've been in talks. I've reached out to all these people. A good number of them have gotten back to me. I talked to 2 or 3 just yesterday that are excited about coming on. We're just picking a date, basically. But this is so that you at home know where you can get information or what information I have available on midbaynewsright.com right now for your perusal. And while we're here, I want to show you a cool, nifty little thing that we're bringing back this year that I think everybody just loves. 1 second. So here we are, referendum ruling. We talked about that already, I think, right? No, I don't know. Anyway.
We could skip it. This is more important.
Yeah, okay. So where is... Sorry, it's taking so long, guys. I wish I had...
While you find that, I'm gonna say the thing that I always say, in that our national news and even our local official news often over indexes on national politics, and we just gorge on it all the time. But the fact of the matter is the people that are in that picture that you displayed have more effects on our daily life than those folks do. And so please take a look at the content that Mid-Bay News is putting out and vote appropriately.
So yeah, so I'm picking this one because it's the latest one we've done. Cynthia West, she talks about her school board race. The thing that I love the most, that is the most fun for me as a guy that just enjoys a good set of data, is that we have put all of the donations, campaign donations for all of the people that we have up or are about to get up onto our website in this fun little graph. So you can pick the business that donated, the election county, the date range, the race that people were competing in, what the candidate is, or the donor's name, right? And it'll spit out all this information for you, top contributors, top recipients, you name it. So if we're going to look at, we're on Cynthia West, so let's use her. Those are all donors. We need Cynthia West only. It automatically repopulates and tells you where all this money's coming from. So you can see, oh, no, don't do that. I promise you it works really good. But you can see like, oh, hey, most of her money comes from the candidate herself. So 76% of her donations have come from herself. Her top donors, Jayanta Ghosh, a developer, I believe, in Fort Walton Beach. Estefan Dar, a developer in Fort Walton Beach. This comes from businesses or PACs. Patricia Draper, John Frankman, Jimmy Murphy, Joey Malone.
This stuff is awesome. You're just going to fuel the fire for all the conspiracy theorists. I love it.
Well, I mean, this is essentially, I did this project last year and it really paid dividends because that's how we did that story about the man that was convicted of bribery in Louisiana, donating large gobs of money. I don't want to say the exact number because I can't remember the exact number of money into local campaigns just because we did some data research. And it just became imminently obvious quickly.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's cool to be able to have that data available and people can jump in there and make up all the stories about what's in there that they want.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's in there. It's free. It's for you to peruse. It's also, I find that like seeing who's donated to a candidate helps me determine who I am going to vote for because I trust it. It's almost like an endorsement, right? It's not almost like an endorsement. It is an endorsement with money behind it. And so that helps me. Anyway, that is the big one. Looking forward to more elections coverage, more football coverage, more of everything all the time. Last thing I'll say is that our new reporter, Meredith, is looking to start probably the second week of June. So you think you're getting a lot of content now. Just you wait, whippersnappers. All right? It will be a flood of content everywhere. All of the articles.
Just more opportunities to get better at your job. It's awesome.
Indeed. That is an Adron Robinson quote, Paul Schoberg.
Hey, I love Adron Robinson.
Yeah. So anyway, we've had a great time here on Paul and Saul. As always, comments, concerns, questions, critiques, chicanery, tomfoolery, put it in the comments. It boosts the algorithm. So
be nice, Niceville.
You've heard the man, play the music.
Do it.